I changed my ex-husband's life from drags to riches, and I found out that he was planning to tank my credit and screw me one last time. So I made sure to leave him where I found him. I met my now ex-husband at the time via Facebook in January 2017. He messaged me this long paragraph about how he really wanted to meet me, and we should go out and I should give him a chance to see where it goes. At the time, he had nothing. He was living in a small storage building behind his parents' home. So small that all that fit in it was a recliner that he slept in, a TV, and a mini fridge. He would be locked out of the house when they went to bed, so he had to use the bathroom outside in the woods after that. He had no car and no job at all. His wife had left him a year prior. He was on workman's comp for a work-related injury and was in the middle of a lawsuit. In April of 2017, he got my family and his family together at my parents' house to have dinner. Said it was so our families could meet to see how they got along. Little did I know it was so he could propose. Being on the spot, I said yes. And by the time we left, everyone had already picked a date for the wedding. August comes, and we are married. On our 1-year anniversary, I bought him a vehicle. It was a brand new 2018 $35,000 vehicle. We had moved into a new place and even managed to get him a job with a large retail company because a friend of mine was a manager there. I even helped him step up to a manager's position there within a couple of months of being there. So basically in the span of a year and a half, he went from nothing to having a wife, home, vehicle, and well-paying job because of me. Now the home we moved into, I knew the landlord since I was a kid, so he was happy to give me a special rate on the place, and my ex knew it was because the landlord knew me that we got this place. This is relevant later. In 2019, we got to a point we were fighting all the time, and I felt unappreciated. I was always told, I didn't do anything to you. You have no reason to feel that way, and you need to stop being so emotional. The straw that broke the camel's back came when I got home from work one day, and he was passed out on the couch, while my son, autistic, was in the kitchen and had gotten a hold of a knife and said he was trying to make use dinner. I got my son and left to stay with my parents for a while. Over the next few months, we tried to work things out. We decided to start over for a while, see how things went, and go from there. Ultimately, in 2020, I decided I was done for good, found my own place, and cut contact for the most part. I'm 29 and he is 33 now. At this point, I just wanted to be done, and we agreed that I could take all my son's belongings, and we would split the rest of my stuff, and he could keep the place we had. We also agreed he could keep the vehicle, but only so long as he would make the payments on it on time. And once he was able to finance himself, he would take my name off, or he could pay it off, and I would sign it over to him. He made the first payment on time, but the second month when I contacted him about the payment, he said he didn't have it and needed to wait until he got paid at the end of the week. When I contacted him again, he again said I don't have it and then hung up. It was Friday, payment was due the next Wednesday. That Sunday, a mutual friend and I was hanging out and let it slip that he was already engaged to another woman and said he was going to keep the vehicle until they repo it so he could ruin my credit and screw me one last time. Of course, being the owner of the vehicle, on that Monday while he was at work, I had someone drop me off in the parking lot to pick up my vehicle. I got straight in, door wasn't locked, and drove it home. His work was about an hour from where we lived. Once he got off work and realized he had no way home, he called and told me if I didn't bring him his vehicle back that he would come to my house and get it. I told him to go ahead, and as soon as it drove off my property, I would have him arrested and charged for grand theft auto, at which point I told him he could return his key to the vehicle and collect his belongings out of it. During the heat of the fight, I said, I picked you up from nothing and gave you everything, and even made this as simple as I could so you were not left with nothing again. But keep on, and I'll make sure to leave you where I found you. He tried to call my bluff, but ultimately gave me the key and took his belongings and left. I took the vehicle, cleaned it up, took it to a dealership, sold it before the payment was due, and got it paid off, and even an extra $6,000 for its over payoff value. He relentlessly harassed me from the time he left till I had had enough on Thursday. I had over 1,000 texts and voicemails telling me I'm a petty biatch and that I was going to pay for leaving him without a vehicle. So I made good on my threat. I called the landlord, explained what happened, and told him my name was to be removed from the lease. He happily took my name off. I called the internet, water, and power companies and told them I moved and needed the service that was in my name, which was disconnected from the previous address. They happily disconnected the same day. I also called my friend, his manager, and told her about him leaving the cash safe keys unattended in the vehicle unlocked in the parking lot while on the clock. When he got home from work, he had no water, no power, and no internet. On Friday, he was called into the office and let go due to negligence. I texted him Friday evening and told him that now he has seen a petty bee, and now I can officially say I left him where I found him, blocked him, and never looked back.